The Startup Cabin podcast is brought to you by Cedarwood. Cedarwood rents out senior CFOs to the tech industry from 1 to 5 days a week. For more, go to cedarwood.co. Welcome to the Startup Cabin podcast. I'm Steve Ferris, and this is where we tell you great stories and strategies from European entrepreneurs and investors. Shumei and I recently had the privilege to sit down with Lisa Thorén. We had a great afternoon together at SUP 46 in Stockholm. Special thanks out to Lana and the rest of the crew. They were super helpful. And Lisa was largely responsible for taking BabyBjörn from a Swedish company owned by her family to an international brand. So if you are outside of Sweden and you've enjoyed BabyBjörn products, you have Lisa to thank. Now Lisa is enjoying being a business angel, and her latest project is Performance SK8. It's a skateboard technology company. She's going to tell us all about what the product is, how it's disrupted in the market, and what she looked for when she was looking for an investment, and some more about how she works as a working investor, actually working with the founder to grow and build the success of this company. And there's even some extra stuff at the end that I caught that was not recorded for the video version of this that you can find over at youtube.com/startupcabin. So without any more delay, here is Lisa Thorén.
So welcome to Startup Cabin TV and podcast. And today I have Lisa with me. And can you tell our viewers and listeners who you are?
Yes, I'm Lisa Thorén, born in Sweden, and I'm now working as a business angel, which is great, fun, I really enjoy it. And I've done a lot of different stuff, but made my money with building BabyBjörn as a brand in 50 countries. So, but now it's all about skateboarding.
Yeah, so you went from being in your parents' company and kind of building them massively internationally, and then taking your money and becoming an angel investor. And is this the first company you invested in as an angel investor?
No, it's not. So that's a great thing. You know, I did the mistakes, I learned a lot, and then I found the thing I really wanted to do. And, you know, I'm now all in. Into this, but I did some investments before, so I have done some mistakes, yes.
So tell me about the company.
So this company is a skateboarding company. It's actually a product development company, which is, you know, what this company has in common with BabyBjörn, you know, actually giving the end consumer a better everyday life. So, I mean, it's like really giving them a better skateboarding experience, and it's born global. So I mean, we can't even just think Sweden. It's like day one we started to think the States, of course, because skateboarding is big there, but actually now we have success in Brazil. So, and we have a production both in Brazil and in China, so we are pretty much born global.
Cool. So do you skate yourself?
Well, actually, I do. It doesn't look like that, but I've always been like an action sports person. I actually biked over the Andes in South America twice, and in a few other countries, and ski like crazy. But you know, I'm born 67, so I'm not that hot in the parks anymore.
But I mean, I think that's kind of needed to have. I think this is a lifestyle product. If you don't have the lifestyle, it's really hard to do it. I mean, don't you agree that you have to like be part of it, especially as you do a lot of the branding in that part, to understand it like more on an emotional level?
Yeah, and you know, I'm crazy, so that's a good start. And you know, I really like to challenge myself, and I've done it a lot through sports, but also actually building the communication department in BabyBjörn. That was like really challenging, and it was like building a company. I think entrepreneurship and skateboarding is pretty, you know, close to one another. It's like really always pushing the limits and doing something that everybody else says it's not possible, you know.
And it's a lot of convincing yourself to do things. Convincing yourself this is a good idea. Yeah. Or convincing yourself to, like, you know, go up on that stage or leap down that mountain. So I really recognize that.
We're going to have to go get some skateboard gifts and to make some analogies to startups and entrepreneurship.
Yes,
we're going to have to do that. It's coming.
Perfect.
That's a
whole
great
skateboarding
idea.
series. I know there's going to be
Can I get you to skate later?
Yeah, but I don't know if you have a deck around here in Sub 46, but actually I think
it's
they
Sub
do.
46. They should
they
have a
do.
skateboard.
Yeah. Actually, we're partners, so they have a few decks around here.
Okay. Good. So, can you show a little bit more about the actual product for us?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is one of the products, Tip Technology. And we have a patent in 21 countries, and it's actually really solving a problem for the skaters. Today, believe it or not, but most skateboards are with wooden edges, which is crazy because, you actually take the wood and you press it down in the pavement in speed, and of course, and it's going to be worn out. So it's even called, getting razor tailed. So this... Becket Colón, the skater that was skating with his son, he realized like, hey son, when you have a new deck, then it's perfect, then it works. But as soon as it's worn out, it doesn't work anymore. Mm-hmm. So he started to repair it actually, and then together with some engineers, they came up with the perfect solution, like the perfect mix of, and
God, this is hard.
Yeah,
this
really
hard.
It's like metal hard
plastic. Yeah. It feels almost
so metal. It's like always skating on marble, which is like a dream for skaters. So it's like always having a new deck, and it's an affordable replacement part. So it's like super smart.
So what you do is, instead of buying a whole new board, you just buy these tips instead.
Yeah. So it's like recharging your pop. You actually get back the pop into the board, which is super convenient because today, you have to take off the trucks and the wheels and everything and grip the deck again and, do all that work. And a deck actually gets worn in. You know how you love something that you wear in.
You know the feeling.
Yeah. And I mean, skateboarding is hard. I mean, to jump like 16 stairs is not easy. So the Brazilian pros that are riding this now, they are like love it because they can just, keep the same deck for so much longer, and then they just replace the tips.
And I mean, also skateboarding is part about, it's also identity. So they, customize the board so much, and then they have to exchange it and do it over again. I have a lot of friends who skate, and I always want to look at their boards because they always have their own thing there.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much in the culture to wear out the graphics, and I mean, we're okay with that. Actually, we're okay with everything about the graphics. It's like we're the skateboard technology company. We just want to give the kids the best skateboarding experience, and we're working on a me-commerce solution that they could actually upload their own graphics, and we are totally open to other brands adopting our technologies. So if Element would like to have tip technology on the decks, we're fine with that. So Element, contact us.
Yeah, we'll have that in the notes.
Big sign. So you work with this inventor. And are you the only ones in the company, or are you more people? How do you work together?
So Becket is like the genius behind the products. I'm so impressed with him. He has such great innovations. We already have a few other patents, and it's wheels, it's trucks, it's things around skateboarding. And then we have employed a guy from Brazil that is our team manager. And I mean, thanks to him, his name is Fagner Pereira. He has got all his friends on board, and some of the absolutely top-notch skaters in the world that are Brazilian. And they are street skaters. They're like super cool. So, I mean, we're really, really a good team now with, this true skater always out in the parks. Fagner is now living in Barcelona, and going back from Sao Paulo, Barcelona, Stockholm, always traveling and getting this out, to the skaters.
I think it's very interesting because this is a physical product, and there's a lot of startups that do, service, kind of startups. And I know purchasing and the whole that product line part, and I think a lot of people don't understand the difference. So could you explain a little bit, like, what's the difficulties with having a product company that's a physical product that you have to patent? What do you see is like something you have to think about when you're building that kind of product?
It's a lot of investors are afraid of consumer products because they know what a hustle it is to build a brand. And I mean, it took a long time for BabyBjörn, before we had this huge success. But what I've been looking at as an investor is a company that actually could scale really quickly. And the good thing with Performance SK8 is that the factories want our innovations. So we're a bit like Tetra Pak. We're actually like taking machines, putting them into the factories. Mm-hmm. And like Gore-Tex, it's like we have the innovations and then anyone could put their brand, on the decks. So it's so scalable. And since already today, all skateboards are done in the same factories in China and Brazil, then, it's quite easy, because they are, even the Chinese are tired of the lousy quality that you can find in the sports shops. And that parents, they go into sport stores and they just buy a skateboard and it doesn't even roll, you can't do a trick on it. So it's like giving the kids a bike with a flat tire. So, that's a big thing for me now, like teaching parents that they actually should, buy a real skateboard. So,
we had that talk when we met at the party.
Yeah.
You schooled me in proper words, and I felt bad about my child.
Yeah, so it's super important that parents realize, that you can't buy just any skateboard. You need to buy a real skateboard.
So they can learn properly and have fun with it.
Yeah. But as an investor, that's what I've been looking at, like a product that is global, that, kids in Africa can skate, kids in China, kids in Sweden. You can do it indoor, outdoor. It's affordable, and especially with this affordable replacement parts, like even with our shoes and everything we do, we really think that kids should be able to afford this. And we have some solutions to how kids will be able to, make enough money from us to be able to buy their own decks. I, myself, as a mother of 3 kids, 3 teenagers, I think it's really frustrating when teenagers, have so much energy, especially skaters, they can skate for 8 hours and then they go home to mom or dad. And, it might be like a single mom in some suburb that working already like, 12 hours a day. And then she needs to work even more to pay for skateboards to her 17-year-old son or daughter. And so we're working a lot to like teach the skaters and give them the opportunity to make their own money so they can, afford and buy their own stuff.
So what do they do then? Do they like become ambassadors of the brand, or how does that work?
Well, it's not official yet. This is like a portal that we are launching in the beginning of 2016. But that's going to be like, I think, super popular. It's the Tip Technology portal. So stay tuned.
I think that's very interesting because we've been talking a lot. I've been writing articles for magazines, etc., about how a lot of companies like Airbnb, etc., lets the user make money. And then that becomes suddenly an extra income, and also an income for people who maybe hadn't that kind of income before. And I think it's really cool that you're doing that for kids.
Yeah.
We're talking so much like everywhere about like kids have to learn the value of $1. Like what work do I have to do for $1? It's not good to give kids, just give them stuff, because they don't understand the value of how the system in society works. And this is one example of doing that, actually.
Yeah, because that's also about building the self-esteem of the kids in the same way as you teach kids to skate and they get to challenge themselves. It's the same with money. It's like if you get to make your own money, and then, you know, you're so proud. I can see that on my kids. They're working now. My 12-year-old daughter, she's been selling stuff, you know, through these panda catalogs. She's doing good for the animals and the tigers, and then also, you know, making enough money to get her own to buy her own computer. I mean, she's so proud about that. So this, for me, is really close to heart, because I, you know, started working when I was, you know, probably 10, grown up in that environment, and I want to give this to other kids.
Yeah, Shimei, you and I both started working when about 14.
Yeah.
Say? Yeah, I was 14 also. I was cleaning tables at a restaurant. But there's something that happens in your brain when you connect energy to money. And I think that also goes a long way in just helping the generations come up to not feel so entitled to things, to know that I can have whatever I want. I just have to work for it and put out energy.
Yeah. And I've been talking to a lot of other entrepreneurs. I've been working since I was 14, like every year, like all the time. And all of the ones I see who have my kind of mentality, like, you have to do it yourself, like put in the time. They're like, and we always start talking about that. When did you start working as a kid? And they're like, 12, 14, 16. And it doesn't matter if they had money or not in the family. They started working, and that's how they learned, and also got a lot of ideas, because they're like, okay, if I can make money of this, maybe I can do this as well. Yeah. And they try it out, and they become someone who sees it's a business because someone wants to pay for it, not because I have an idea. So it actually becomes tangible ideas that can be sellable products. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of new entrepreneurs are missing. They don't do that connection between money and the product itself.
No, and I really think it's so important, you know, to build the self-esteem when you're a kid. So probably it's good that, you know, kids start selling stuff and doing stuff, helping out, and actually, you know, get paid for helping the neighbor with something, or already when they're, you know, whatever, 5, 6 years old. I think it's super important also, like doing sports from your, and skateboarding is such a good thing to actually build self-esteem.
And I really agree, because you feel capable.
Yeah.
You're not dependent on what kind of background you come from. Just doing sports or building things, it makes you feel like I can do this, maybe I can do this. And then you try again, and you try again, and you try again. And you build this momentum. And people ask me, I started my first company when I was 18. I started selling my first own products when I was 16. And people are like, why are you doing all of this stuff? You seem so busy, you seem so blah, blah, blah. No, I just built momentum really early, and that makes this today not feel so big. Yeah. It's just a learning curve.
Yeah, it's like a good start, you know, to and always challenge yourself. I mean, it's fun, and it's fun to fail. I mean, that's the thing that skaters learn really early. Like, you fail, and then when you succeed, it's like, yeah, I did it, you know, and everybody in the park is happy for you. And I think it's the same in the entrepreneur environment, like here at SUP 46 in Stockholm. I mean, everybody knows that you need to fail, and then everybody's happy for one another when you succeed, and it's a giver's gain, you know. Everybody's helping one another, and it's the same in the parks. I mean, it's super nice to be out, and just go out in the skate parks and look at the kids. I mean, they're really nice to one another and supportive.
I want to ask some questions about you as an investor. How long have you been working with this company?
Since 2007. I quitted BabyBjörn in 2004, and then I actually went through Connect, a great network for business angels and entrepreneurs. And I actually looked through like 100 companies before I actually picked this one. But realized that I wanted to do the BabyBjörn thing again, you know, want to be part of the trip and, you know, make the success myself, not just, you know, put in the money.
So you're actually what you call like a working investor. You work in the company with the founder of the company, and not all investors do that. And I think also a lot of startups don't understand that there is this type of investor, that you actually can have someone who comes into your company and help you with all the knowledge you have. So why did you choose to do that? Was it because of you wanted to do the BabyBjörn like journey again?
Well, I realized, you know, doing the other investments before, that just putting a few 100,000 Swedish crowns into the company, it's such a big risk that you lose the money. So I really wanted to make sure that this investment is going to be, a great investment for me and also for the entrepreneur. I mean, he has put in so much effort into this even before I met him. So his name is Becket Colón, and he's actually born in the States but lived here in Sweden for 25 years something. So he speaks Swedish, and I really wanted to be part of the making the success. Yeah.
We talked about, being an investor who's actually involved in working with the company. And that means that you both go in with money, but you also start working with the actual entrepreneur. And that's a bit different. A lot of people haven't investors who just go in with money and they kind of stay, back here. So what do you think is the difficulties and also like what's the good part about being this kind of investor?
The good part for me is that I'm grown up with an entrepreneur. So, I mean, it's nothing weird to actually meet this, super smart, like really guy that has like the huge vision about, disrupting an industry. So that's been really natural for me to work with Becket Colón, the inventor of Performance SK8. And the founder of the company. Well, actually, he's made me a co-founder now. But I think that a lot of investors, if they have made their money, outside the entrepreneur world, they might have really big problems because they get shocked. I mean, if they have made them from a bank or like just, stocks or, if they don't have the entrepreneur mind, they get a shock because it's a totally different world, and you need to be like not crazy but open-minded and thinking outside the box and always looking for solutions. And like your will to succeed must be greater than your fear to fail. And I think a lot of investors that we have met that have made their money some other way, they are so scared to fail. They're so scared to fail so that they shouldn't invest in a startup.
I agree. I see a lot of these two different kind of camps of investors. The ones who are used to entrepreneurs have made their money in business, around business somehow, and then the ones who have made it in very traditional non-entrepreneurial ways. And the ones who come from that side, they don't understand the importance of team. We've had so many discussions with investors around this, like the importance of team and how that's changing actually in kind of the angel investment kind of area, that people are understanding more and more. Like, you have to understand this part. And if you don't, you have to bring in someone who can actually see that and look at the team from that angle. And if you have the entrepreneurial experience, you know what kind of personality you will meet and what that means for the company.
And also, I think you need to have like a little bit of distance and sense of humor, because it's like Becket, when I came into the company, it's like, okay, I'll make you the president because you're the least bad of the two of us, So, I mean, it's like, okay, now this is what we have. And then we found Fagner Pereira, this great guy that is our team manager now. And okay, so this is what we have. We still don't have the CFO guy, but it's really hard to find a CFO that is actually able to work in this kind of team. So we're looking for a CFO. If there is one out there, they could actually...
That's exactly what I do, the Cedarwood company. It's exactly this, because most people in finance don't understand entrepreneurs, don't understand the tech industry and this fast-paced startup world. And that is really can become such a problem for the founders, because you have to focus on finance, which is probably not their strength if they're entrepreneurs, and they don't get the help they need with the money when they get the investment, and that can really make the company stumble.
Yeah. So the lucky thing with us is that Becket is super intelligent, and he has totally insights of the whole industry. He knows everyone, and he's really capable of doing a great budget, a 3-year budget. But that budget is, of course, from after founding. So then, I need to explain for the investors that, well, this is the bridge financing till we get bank financing, because since we are like so close to getting licensing money from the factories, I mean, we're not going to really need any more funding from investors soon. I mean, even the banks are coming to us and telling us, like, I mean, as the day you have, this licensing money coming in, you can bank finance your growth. So, but it's like when you are a little bit before that money coming into your account, then most CFOs are really wondering what's up.
And it's interesting that you say that about like actually getting financing from banks, etc., because this is typical for physical products, that you have something tangible that they can bet their money on as a bank that they mostly can't do with service companies, because for them there's no assets for us to kind of bet that this is what we're going to take if you fail, pretty much. And that's what you can do with a product company. And that's a really hard system to understand. But you have experience from BabyBjörn, so I guess that's...
Yeah, so that's why it was super important for me with that the first of all, that the products actually solve real problems. That there are real people out there that actually want the products. And but also that there is patents, because then I know when you have patents, you just need the proof of concept with enough people. So like now we have sold over 20,000 decks and 50,000 of the replacement tips. So now the banks are coming to us and saying, like, now you have enough proof of concept, now you can bank finance. But we want to, have more turnover before we let the banks in.
It's blinking. Does that mean it's going to die?
Is it the battery?
There's a little light down here. It's blinking.
Yeah, it's going to die soon. We'll wrap up this part and then we take a break and load the battery and then we do the second part. Yeah, so I think also that's something that I don't think a lot of startup entrepreneurs understand about banks. I hear sometimes new entrepreneurs, they go to a bank and think they're going to get a loan for a business idea. But actually, this is the only way to get pretty much a loan. It's like, oh, you have sold 50,000 of your product. Oh, 20 of those. Great. Then they're interested. Otherwise, it's pretty much impossible.
And also, I think it's really bad of like Almi or whoever, like saying, oh, you can get a loan from us. And before you have that income on selling products, because then you need to sell shares to be able to pay the interest to Almi, which is like a governmental institution here in Sweden. So, I mean, you don't really want loans that have, if you need to pay the interest every month, which you do for banks or governmental institutions. I mean, so it's grants is great, I mean, in the startup process, and investors that actually give you like a convertible loan, and then that you, if they don't convert, you pay back the day that you're able to pay it back. So, I mean, that's really dangerous with getting the banks too early too. So the banks are probably doing good saying no, before.
Because that's the problem, like loans you actually have to pay back, even if there's no company left.
Yes.
So what's the next step for the company?
Since, we have a success in Brazil, we are really focusing on Brazil, and we have, more or less all of the top skaters wanting to ride for us. So we actually are focusing now just getting going with the production and with the getting products into the stores over there. But in the rest of the world, we are working through our portal, like in Europe and US, which are more like mature with the buying stuff online. It's happening also in Brazil. But we're working together with Dempsey, which is one of the best digital bureaus in Scandinavia or probably in Europe. and they're doing like the top-notch portal with so that we actually can reach out with tip technology through all the social media channels. So that's going to be exciting.
Where can people find? Are these available now anywhere, or the tips?
We're actually sold out on the big sizes right now. But if you're a parent and want to buy this tip technology innovation for your kids, then you go to proskate.se, which is like the webpage we have right now.
Okay. You've been listening to Lisa Thorén talking about her company, Performance SK8. Now here is the part that did not get put into the video version of this, and it's just for you podcast listeners. We were charging the video camera battery, and while that was happening, some great talk started happening, and I thought you would enjoy it. So here is the secret bit.
I mean, they have so
much money. Struggle. So much money.
That's so much money. Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's like great. My parents, now it's like it's a family company. We all we're 4 siblings, and together with my parents, we own the company. But it's like we found a industry that nobody else did any product development on, like potties and toilet trainers and bibs, like. And it's the same with skateboarding. Nobody's actually focusing on product development, developing skateboards. It's like easy.
Well, it's a huge sport.
This part is not in the video. This is for you podcast listeners. We're charging the camera, and in the midst of the charging, we started talking about stuff that's really good. So, Lisa, you were saying one of the things you look for when you're looking to invest is the company in an industry that needs a change, that needs innovation. And that's what you guys do with BabyBjörn, and you saw that in the skating industry. So that the whole part you just heard, that was the context that you were listening to.
No, but I think it's so interesting because it's also a bit funny because BabyBjörn, when I was building my first company, I was working extra with professional sport women who just had a baby. So I would have 2 BabyBjörn on me, taking care of their kids, because it's so crazy. Professional athletes, after they get kids, they start working out like crazy, like 2.5 months after they got their kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was insane. But it was really cool. It's like very special industry to look into. But I was called the baby whisperer, because I could have 5 babies asleep at once.
Really? Wow, that's cool.
So I would like play with one, make one fall asleep, feed one. So while they're working out with their personal trainers, they need someone to take care of their baby. So I had a lot of BabyBjörn experience.
But it's awesome too. Actually, I'm so happy that at first, I spent 10 years, 24/7 working with the baby products because I love babies. And then now I'm working 24/7 with a bit older kids. I think you should start skateboarding when you're like 5. All parents out there, go and buy a real skateboard to your kids when they're 5. Don't wait till they're like 15, and because it's things happening in your brain too. So that you're so much better in challenging yourself and learning balance when you're 5.
I was thinking about that, about balance. I mean, that's the thing. Like now, skateboarding for me will about. I'm good at balancing on a horse. I'm awesome, but I started riding so early.
Yeah.
But on a skateboard, that's something completely different. So that would be,
You can compare it to biking. I mean, it's really hard to start biking when you're 40. I mean, have you seen somebody that is actually trying the first time when they're 40? It's so hard to understand when you learned it yourself when you were 5. It's like so easy to ride a bike. But or like to swim. So it's the same with the skateboarding or actually any sport. Like start when you're 3, 4, 5 years old. It can't be too early. You can actually sit on the skateboard when you're 2 years old. Just get to know the deck.
The thing is like, and that's something you think about, like, oh, balance as a kid, but that matters. That shit matters when you're 80.
Yeah.
If you haven't trained your balance, you're going to be the one who actually, hurt yourself, etc. And you're going to be older faster. Because if you don't have the balance when you get old, that's going to be such a problem.
That's actually a fun thing with Performance SK8. We are 104 shareholders, and they're all like friends to me and the founder of the company, Becket Colón. So one of them is a orthopedic, I can say it in English. Orthopedic.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, yes, I want kids to get that balance, because she's working at the hospital taking care of all these older people coming in because they have slip on whatever, the ice, or here in Sweden we have a lot of ice in wintertime. So she's like, she invested actually money just because she wants the kids to skate when they're small.
Yeah. I mean, I've been riding since I was a kid, and seeing grown-up people sit on a horse and realize, oh, this is riding. And they're like, I thought you were just sitting there and you had to like squeeze with your legs. Like, no, you're not allowed to squeeze with your legs. They're like, how am I supposed to hold on? It's the balance. And that's all you do as a rider. You train a lot of finding your own like core balance. And with each new horse, there's a new set of rules. And that's like the board. And getting them worn out or new boards. And that's going to be completely different.
And actually it's interesting with, a lot of girls horseback riding and doing gymnastics, which is both like you need good balance and you need to be pretty wild. Because you can fall off the horse. And that's
it's the world's most dangerous sport.
And now
it is.
Really?
Yes. Now most people die and like get seriously injured.
And skateboarding, you're actually not like upside down like you are in gymnastic exercises, and you don't have that huge horse. So
it's not alive.
No, so actually it's happening now in skateboarding that girls are out there. I mean, there are we have just started to sponsor our first female pro, Brazilian woman, and it's super great. I mean, why shouldn't girls be as good at skateboarding as guys? So it's why they aren't today is because they started too late or they're too few. But now, parents are actually buying skateboards to their 5-year-old girls too. So that's happening. Which is more fun for the guys in the park when they're 17. They like to see some guys in the park.
Exactly.
It's like, I've been slow on getting these tricks out, but now she's here, it's coming out. Here we go. Watch me, guys. Watch this. That's the last time we ever saw him.
It's even more fun, challenge yourself if you have a good audience there.
And suddenly all the pro skaters were so much better.
Okay, thanks for listening. And if you really want to see the skateboard gifts, you can go find it on our YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/startupcabin. And it's in the video that talks about how performance skate is disrupting the industry. Check that out. Have a great day, and we wish you much success.